If you're like me, we're always reading books and trying to find information to hone our craft, especially as a trial lawyer. There's so many different ways to do things, and there a lot of successful lawyers have written books, are giving seminars, and are really allowing you to step into their brain a little bit to discuss, to understand how they think of things. One book that I strongly recommend is Mark Mandel, a wonderful trial lawyer, has two books, Case Framing and Advanced Case Framing. And I believe they are on the AAJ library. You go to the AAJ webpage to order them. They are books you must read just to get your mind understanding what resonates with jurors, even before you take your first deposition in your case. My name is Saul Gruber, and I'm at Gruber Trial Consulting, and we help lawyers all over the country handle their cases and, more importantly, think about their cases. That's something I think lawyers tend not to do. Just sit down and just think. You don't have to draft anything. You don't have to holler at anybody. You don't have to spend any money. Just think. And Mark Mandel's book really helps me when looking at cases for other lawyers think. And one of the things Mark talks about are issues that can't get over issues, right? When I was still practicing and trying cases, I called it a different name, and it involved some curse words, but you're totally blank, those type of issues. And Mark really gives you a lot of ways to think about those issues and how to present them. And there are a lot of ways to do that. But one of the things I think he does so well is to talk about the type of issues that come up in every single case. And part of our job in looking at the cases is to figure out what type of case is this. But one of the frames he talks about is the do your job frame. Right? Think about that. Happens in medical malpractice cases all the time. Can really happen in a premises case in a supermarket, right? Did the defendant or their employees do their job? And if they had just done their job, we wouldn't be here. The do their job is something that resonates with the jury because they can understand and apply it in their own life. Another thing is know your limits. I've always used to joke, still do, is I normally, when I'm having chest pain, I don't go to a proctologist. And if I did go to the proctologist, my hope, as I think about it, is that he or she would send me to a cardiologist. Why? Because he or she knows their limits. Did the defendant do something which clearly exceeded their abilities? Well, that's something we can all understand. And again, I don't want to keep pushing this point, but if you read the book, it really will help you and tell you how to apply these issues. But I got to be honest with you, know your limits just makes sense, doesn't it? One of the biggest frames in the medical malpractice and nursing home world is that of betrayal. Now, yes, I know it sounds so devious and intense, but betrayal is something we all understand. And when a mother or when a daughter brings their 80-year-old mother to a facility, quite often you're going to hear testimony that was the worst day in her life. As the mother is pleading to the daughter, don't leave me here. Of course, she has Alzheimer's. She's got various conditions that make it impossible to care for her at home. The daughter is crying, and the facility is telling her, don't worry, we got this. This is what we do. Not unlike the same time when you're bringing your 2-year-old to daycare, and then they don't do what they tell you they're going to do. The betrayal, the guilt that you feel is overwhelming. And betrayal is something that can really be understood. And to be honest, when paired with the guilt, it's really a powerful, powerful case frame and can be used in almost any case. One that we always see and always use in nursing home cases, in trucking cases, and in corporate, even products liability cases, is systemic failure. That's right. That means that the defendant put their employees in a position to fail. Why? Because at the top of the chain, they made decisions normally about money and how much money to put into the company, how much money to put into the treating the beds, how much money it would cost to use that little guard that they decided not to. Systemic failure is one case frame that if you have it and somehow you combine it with betrayal, that's where we see the verdicts that get larger and larger. The defense likes to call them runaway verdicts or nuclear verdicts, but really they're just reflecting the jurors' understanding and anger that this didn't need to happen. A couple other case frames that Mr. Mandel uses in his book that are phenomenal is cover up. I know that in all the focus groups that we have been handling over the last 4 years, as soon as there's a lie, as soon as there's a cover up, guess what? The jurors stop believing anything from the defense. So if you can show a cover up, you're going to take over the credibility competition, and the jurors going to understand that this is a real problem. These are the ways you really need to look at your cases. Step away from the day-to-day facts of the case and think of the overarching themes that we're looking at. Get Mark Mandel's book. Get both books. They're unbelievable. They really make you think. And that's how we win cases. We think. Again, I'm Saul Gruber from Gruber Trial Consulting. And if you have any questions about a trial coming up, give us a call. We're here to help.